Now at 5, assessing the damage. We're getting a look at the aftermath of some severe storms that rode through central Indiana as the community begins to clean up.
And thankfully, we are getting a break from those severe storms, but for how long? I'll have your forecast.
Plus, a Frankfort canine officer now charged with abusing his four-legged partner. How the department is responding tonight.
Today, we're getting a better look at the damage from last night's storm. The Greenwood Bible Baptist Church is now missing part of its roof.
And the pastor there says as the debris flew, it also punctured holes in parts of the roof as well. Jenna Webster shows us the church isn't the only place cleaning up today.
Greenwood Bible Baptist Church is the place to gather on Sundays. But on Friday, it became the spot for people to gather after the storm.
People from the church just showed up to help, and we're glad for that. Young people are out of school, and so they're involved in the cleanup process.
Part of Pastor Todd Pointer's church is now wide open rafters. The roof torn off from strong winds overnight. Shingles now in the dumpster, along with pieces of a playground, also broken in the wind.
So there was some water damage to the interior, but not a lot. Fortunately, the drywall is double layered, and so that helped it quite a bit. And I think the wind damage occurred probably after the rain, so we really didn't have that much rain come in.
From above, the church seems to be the only in this neighborhood to take a hit like this. No open holes in this house, just a tree draped across. The homeowner says a branch came through the now tarped window last night.
I turned the overhead light on from the ceiling fan, and it was like, holy cow, there's glass everywhere, all over the desk, all over the floor, all over the bed.
Dave Kennison has a broken window to clean up too, after the wind picked up a trash can and threw it into the glass.
Some really violent storms have come through here, but this is the first time it got me.
As of Friday morning, the National Weather Service said it's not surveying storm damage in Johnson County. All the rain we've had makes for a soggy ground, easy to pull trees up from the roots.
One over looked at it, he said, how's 1200 sound? I said, it sounds pretty high to me. He said, I'll do it for 1,000. I said, no, I'll take care of it. I said, I got a chainsaw and I got a buddy that's pretty beefy.
Back at the church, the pastor says this repair won't be a difficult fix. 2x4s are already going up, and service will go on as planned Sunday morning.
God protected us, and we're thankful for that.
In Greenwood, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
And in Morgan County, storms may have caused a fire at a Mooresville apartment complex. The Madison Township Fire Department says crews responded to a fire on the roof of that building there on East Orchard Road around 11 o'clock last night. Investigators say they believe the storms damaged a utility pole, which knocked the power lines into the building. Thankfully, though, nobody was hurt.
Also, take a look at this. Further north in Indiana, this is damage in Wabash. You can see debris scattered across yards and chunks of homes taken out. Strong winds blew roofs off homes and left insulation hanging in trees. At least 2 people were hurt and hundreds of people lost power. The National Weather Service has been working all day to determine what tornadoes hit the area, if they hit this area. I know, Angela, you've been tracking updates from them.
Yes, because we have such a large area. The state of Indiana is covered by a handful of National Weather Service offices, so we're kind of keeping track of everybody. We know NWS Chicago has confirmed 2 tornadoes in the northwestern part of the state. Porter and LaPorte, EF3 damage there.
Oh, those
so
are powerful.
Powerful tornadoes. We know the survey teams out of our northern office are in the Wabash area, keeping an eye on Cass County as well. Local office in Indianapolis has been out and they didn't find any tornado damage, but we talked about it last night in our coverage. It didn't matter if it was going to be a tornado or 60, 70 mile per hour winds. There was going to be damage, and you can see all of the reports associated with the storms from last night. It was a busy 24 hours of severe weather. Thankfully, we have quiet weather on this Friday early evening. It looks great from our camera in Bloomington. In Connorsville, the sky's so blue at this hour. Temperatures right now in the 80s, 70s and 80s. We have 79 at the airport, 80 in Lafayette and Muncie, and currently 81 degrees in Columbus and lots of sunshine. Our Victory Field, you got baseball tonight, 7:05 first pitch. Temperatures very comfortable, much more pleasant. We can feel the weather pattern has made made that big change, and we'll feel it overnight into early tomorrow as well. Overnight temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. Saturday forecast, we warm back into the mid 80s tomorrow. Slight rain chance tomorrow afternoon, and then another one tomorrow night. I'll walk you through that in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then, Angela. Thank you. Also tonight, a Frankfort police officer is facing a felony charge, accused of throwing his canine partner to the ground. The incident was caught on video back in March and quickly spread online.
Now that officer has a mugshot. Our Ashton Hackman spoke with the police chief and breaks down what newly released court docs reveal.
13 seconds of video, months of fallout. The March 21st recording shows Frankfort Sergeant Ethan Cunningham with his canine partner Taz. The woman who filmed it says she saw Cunningham grab Taz by the neck. We paused the video right after.
He just acted like it never happened.
Cunningham told investigators he was conducting recall training with Taz, and the dog attempted to bite him when he reached for the dog's collar. He said that behavior must be corrected, adding his trainer would support this approach. Cunningham claimed the canine was not injured. Both claims will face challenges from investigators. Court documents say the head of canine training for Frankfort Police watched the video. He said he didn't observe aggression from the dog. He said he would have intervened and that he teaches handlers to avoid lifting dogs off the ground. Taz went to Purdue for treatment. Veterinarians there found he had a mild dislocation between two vertebrae, and the pain was most likely caused by trauma.
It's frustrating because, you're really graded by one bad act. And not all the good things that my officers have done over the years.
Shoemaker says Cunningham remains a paid officer as the Frankfort Public Safety Board prepares to meet Wednesday. In Frankfort, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
IMPD just arrested a man accused of shooting another man on Indy's near North Side. 20-year-old Shamar Bakot is charged with attempted murder and possession of a machine gun. Police say he shot Keon Williams on College Avenue near 25th and Central back in April. Williams then walked into a hospital to be treated for his injuries. Police say Williams was also arrested and charged for illegally possessing a firearm by a serious violent felon.
The Marion County prosecutor is facing more criticism tonight over his handling of crime. The Indiana Fraternal Order of Police issued a vote of no confidence for prosecutor Ryan Mears during a meeting in Fort Wayne. Indy FOP President Rick Snyder issued a statement saying, in part, cops and their families showed their frustration and concern through this vote of no confidence in Ryan Mears. We pray residents, business owners, and political decision makers throughout our state take appropriate action to right the ship in our capital city. Mears has recently faced criticism from other local leaders, including the Hendricks County prosecutor and Carmel Mayor Sue Finkham.
And a former Hendricks County bus driver is now facing charges tonight after he allegedly showed up to work drunk. Court documents reveal Micah McLean tested over the legal limit just minutes after picking up students and taking them to school in April. School administrators say McLean was named on a list to receive a random drug test with a special request to get an alcohol blood test done. Court documents also say he ran 25 minutes late on the elementary school route and blamed construction. McLean is facing 7 charges, including neglect of a dependent and operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Tonight, critics are pushing back against Governor Mike Braun's recent comments about the nuclear family.
And leaders in one faith tradition say the remarks fail to reflect how many different kinds of families there are across the state. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker has the story.
Yeah, as Pride events begin all across the state, including tomorrow's parade here on Mass Ave, leaders in the Indiana Conference of the United Methodist Church say strong families come in all forms, and they believe that public officials, including the governor, should recognize that.
This week, one of the largest United Methodist congregations in the city, St. Luke's United Methodist Church, posted a video on Facebook objecting to a proclamation issued by the governor earlier this month, declaring June Nuclear Family Month. The governor's proclamation defined the nuclear family as a husband, wife, and children, biological, adoptive, or foster.
As a church, we offer each individual and family, regardless of their family structure, our love and support.
The governor was asked last week if his proclamation defining a nuclear family risked alienating Hoosiers whose family structure didn't fall under the proclamation's definition.
And this isn't about any other statement other than the nuclear family is important. You're going to have others that might say otherwise, but that's not the case.
Well, he obviously didn't think, because it means something when you put it out on the first day of Pride Month.
Chris Paulson, the CEO of IYG, An organization that supports LGBTQ+ youth ages 12 to 24 says the governor's proclamation impacted IYG's kids deeply, and not in a good way. Paulson says given the chance to sit down with Governor Braun, she would bring this message about family.
That all families are valuable, and why would you put a type of family above other families that are citizens here in Indiana? He is picking and choosing who he thinks should be part of Indiana, and that's not something he gets to do.
IYG and Paulson will be part of Saturday's Pride Parade.
And tomorrow's Pride Parade here on Mass Ave kicks off at 10 a.m. In Indianapolis, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Thank you, Emily. Need to get to breaking news right now out of Owen County, where we've learned a sheriff's deputy has been shot.
So officials there confirming to 13 News the deputy is being taken to Eskenazi Hospital. All of this happening near Texas Pike and Manhattan Road.
And Owen County, and if you're not familiar, is a largely rural county northwest of Bloomington.
So the deputy was trying to arrest a suspect that was barricaded inside a home.
And police say the suspect is still barricaded, but SWAT is now on the scene. We have a crew on the way. Of course, we'll bring you any updates as soon as they come in, including the condition of that sheriff's deputy.
All right, and we just touched on the Pride Parade that's tomorrow. We want to give you a heads up that if you do plan to drive downtown this weekend, you'll see plenty of road closures because of Pride events. And this includes College Avenue between 10th and Michigan, Mass Ave from Delaware to Bellefontaine Avenue, and more. Closures and parking restrictions begin tomorrow morning starting at 5. Metro Police are also reminding people to be mindful of parking in residential areas. Do not block any driveways, fire hydrants, or intersections. The Pride Parade steps off tomorrow at 10.
And that all leads up to the Pride Festival at Military Park and White River State Park. It includes live music. There's going to be all sorts of food, all kinds of fun there. The official welcome starts at 12:30 with performances going on all day, ending with Todrick Hall at 9:30. Tickets are $15, so we have a full schedule, including a list of performances on our website. You can check it all out at WTHR.com.
And Fishers is kicking off its 2026 construction season with more than $12 million in new investments planned. And it all starts with the completion of State Road 37, the improvement project, wrapping up the $180 million rehab of State Road 37 from 126 to 146 streets. Other construction projects include improvements to Allisonville Road and 116th Street to be completed this summer. The USA Parkway expansion is also scheduled to start in the coming months and wrap up sometime this fall. Eli?
The Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, proud to support Indiana's game at all levels. The Indiana...
It's a beautiful evening for baseball, and we will hear from Eli in just a minute. By the way, as we look ahead to the weekend, plenty of sunshine, but also a couple of rain chances. I'll walk you through that in the weekend forecast.
There is a new deli open in Broad Ripple, but this is so much more than just a lunch spot. We'll tell you about Eve's Garden and what it is doing for the state of Indiana. That's still ahead.